Kiwis. So it's Aussies and Kiwis have a strange relationship because we're so similar. It hurts me to say that because it's I don't know if there's an English equivalent. It's just another country that you take the piss out of completely, and you bag out and you make fun of, and there's a strong rivalry, but you actually feel quite close to each other because you're actually not that dissimilar. Of course, there's differences, but you share a common bond. So with Australia and New Zealand, it's obviously colonial, and it's being situated at the bottom of the world, and so such a long way from anywhere. And New Zealand, Australia has a bit of tall poppy syndrome. A bit of it's kind of like a small town trying to punch above its weight, and New Zealand has that even more because it's 6 million people or something. Australia's 20 million, obviously superior. But so whenever you meet Kiwis, you take the piss out of them. I know you take the piss out of Australians for being arrogant and macho and egotistical and whatever, because we're bigger and better. But really, there's a lot of affection for each other, and I think it was partly forged in World War I with the Anzacs. So Australians and New Zealanders sort of answering the call of the motherland and going and fighting on the other side of the country, other side of the world, in a war that neither of them were involved in really directly. But they sort of suffered a lot together, and I guess formed a bit of a brotherhood. So amongst all the piss take and the jokes, there's actually a strong bond. But you've got to take the piss out of Kiwis at every opportunity. So when your friends moved in with some Kiwis, I was telling them stories about how Kiwis would, they have a strong affection for sheep, and they say the same thing about Australians as well. But it's not true. It's true for the Kiwis though. They do. They really, they're sheep fiddlers. And I think I made up. I said they steal things. I made that up completely. That's not even a formalised Kiwi insult or anything. I just made that up to try and make the Kiwis sound bad. But you saw when I met Richard, we had a laugh and we got along really well. It's almost like when you meet another Australian, you immediately know where you stand. You're coming from a shared background or a fairly similar background, a lot of common experience, and they're often, in London, they're here for the same reasons that you are. So, yeah, it's an interesting relationship.